Hello. How you doing, people? On my way home from work, had a little bit of a interesting afternoon. TikTok live. Guy plowed into a telephone pole across the street from our office in Waynesboro, Virginia. So this is Keith coming at you. Figured I'd check in, see what's going on. How's everybody doing? There's craziness going on, huh? So hopefully you're not getting scooped up without due process, because that's how we do it in the United States. We take people, we put them into concentration camps. And you know where this all goes. My uncle told me about World War II. He was in the army, cleaning up after World War II, and there were mass graves. That's where this is going, if we don't put a stop to it. I mean, what else do you have to see? I mean, I've been screaming about this for a while, and then I just had to calm down because nobody was listening. But, you know, I'm not going to be the one to say I told you so, but, you know, the signs were all there. Anybody that's paid any attention whatsoever to history. I was never a big history buff myself up until, I don't know, the last 10 years. And then I saw what seemed to me to be a bit of echoes. Historic echoes, I believe they're called. Because history doesn't completely repeat itself, but there certainly are echoes. And if we don't learn the mistakes from our past, like I learned growing up in the Jewish religion, one of the things I got from it, which was basically hearing from concentration camp survivors that I had met as a little child, holding the hands of these elderly women with tattoos on their wrists and their eyes. And those were the survivors. So what do you think they're going through in Alligator Alcatraz right about now? What do you think? Think they're happy? Alligator Alcatraz. It's an atrocity what's going on right now. Cannot let that continue. Cannot. I will not hear the apologies for that side of things. There is no that side of things. That side of things is evil. Evil. I'm not a religious man. Never been big on the whole allegorical good versus evil sort of thing, but I gotta say, what we are seeing right now is the personification of evil. And now we get to see what people are really made of. Who's who in this scenario? And I ask you, who are you in this? I have plenty of friends that have, you know, don't talk to me these days because I was, I got a little upset for a while there. I was kind of lost my mind a couple of years ago over it, and it took me a while to simmer down. And but cannot sit idly by while this stuff goes on. Friends, family members that have gone down that dark rabbit hole, refusing to see what was right in front of them. Refusing to acknowledge that what I was saying was the absolute truth, albeit a bit harshly, I admit. I am self-aware enough to know that I came at it very harshly, and I was going through my own traumas, which thankfully I'm not going through now, in fact, but I'm here in Virginia, right close to my family. We got our 3 daughters, 17, 19, and 21. You know, what are we supposed to tell them, our children? We're supposed to leave the place better than it was. Leave them with the ability to live their lives freely. And I have 3 daughters, and they are trying to strip them of their bodily autonomy. Are you kidding me? Not on my watch, people. That is a big hell no. These people will take everything. They will chew you up and spit you out. Whatever illusions you might have, allow me to dispel those. This isn't about Democrat versus Republican, red versus blue. This is not about that. I'm registered independent. Of course, I've been called, you know, every name in the book, falsely, I might add, but, you know, as soon as you confront somebody that's in the cult, we know how cults work, because I've studied cults for 40 years. It's all coming together. It's a cult. It's evil. We got to wake up and put a stop to this. I was considering running for office, but I have not lived here for a year yet. That's coming up in November. I will need your support. What platform might that be? Well, for one thing, regulating social media, because the internet, unfortunately, didn't come with a warning label on it. People are looking at all this stuff, not comprehending that a lot of this stuff is deliberate mis- and disinformation. One way to curb that is by proper regulation. Regulation has got to catch up with this. Has to. Absolutely. And the people on top of things need to acknowledge that. And they're basically getting a complete free pass right now, getting rid of whatever regulation there was there, and only allowing this to continue to get worse with all the division. It's insane. It is insanity. I think people are starting to see that. Starting to. But more people need to wake up. If we do not wake up, there will be mass graves. That's all I can tell you. And we've seen this playbook before. And there's a lot of people out there just clinging to the possibility that there's some measure of goodness in this current administration. Clinging. Because they've invested 10 years maybe of their emotions, getting all angry and upset, because that's what they do to you. They trigger your emotions. That's how they hook you. And then you're blind to everything else. They hook you and you go deep, dark rabbit hole time. And coming out of that, it's got to be painful. There has to be a level of admittance. Admittance is going to be painful, but trust me, on the other side of it, you will see things for what they are. And the truth is that we are putting people in concentration camps right now in the United States of America. Alligator Alcatraz. 35 people. Human beings. And I'm so tired of them saying, but they're innocent. Some of them are innocent. These are human beings, guilty or not. You don't do this to people. You know, unless you've spent some time incarcerated, maybe It's hard to understand. And there's a lack of empathy. I think, they're prisoners. So there's a level of just assumption that, well, they belong there for some reason. They do not belong there. Eating maggots, drinking from the toilet. We don't do this to people. We don't do this to our pets. They're eating the pets. Fucking idiot. Seriously. They're eating the dogs. What kind of freaking idiot believes that shit? Sorry. Makes me a little upset. It's okay. I still love you. But you've got to wake up. Gotta wake up. You've been fed lies. Lies on top of lies for years. And that's all you've heard because you're in your echo chamber. And after a while, if you repeat something enough, people start to believe it. And it's painful to admit that you fell for it. I understand it's embarrassing, humiliating. I know what it's like to be embarrassed and humiliated. Not a fun feeling, not one of my favorite feelings in the landscape of feelings. Humiliation is, I think it's even worse than just intense physical pain. It's like the fear of public speaking. Being embarrassed, people judging you. So unregulated social media allowed that to fester. We saw it coming. Cambridge Analytica, the Internet Research Agency. Look these things up. This is not a conspiracy theory. They are deliberately pitting us against each other. Meanwhile, we have concentration camps, and we're building more, and trillions are going into private prison companies. This is slavery. Slavery never really went away, and now they're not even hiding it anymore. Why should they? They've been given the go-ahead, the green light to just do whatever they want. While we starve, while our children starve and die. People are dying. These are mass murderers. Plain and simple. What do we do with mass murderers? We try them, we convict them. That is what prison is for. How about we start using the prisons for what they're actually for? And not sending good, hard-working family people, separating them from their families, tearing families apart. Children screaming and crying because they're being taken from their parents. The parents are being just no explanation, just taken from them. They're scared to go out of the house. We're being terrorized. This is terrorism, domestic terrorism. You need to call it for what it is. You can't fight it unless you identify it properly. It is domestic terrorism. They need to be tried and convicted. They need to be tried and convicted. That's the other part of my platform. I would do everything in my power to make sure they are tried and convicted. They're not going to want to see me up there. Oh no. It's a good thing I can't run for office yet anyway, so. But somebody has to. We need leadership. Please. We need leadership. We need people that will tell it like it is. I know some people that are telling it like it is. Shout out to, the Bulwark, the I've Had It podcast. Love them. They're telling it like it is. These are podcasters, But we need that too. We need actual journalism. The only journalism you can actually find right now is on the internet. The problem with that is it's hard to find. And who knows what's true and what's not, because so much mis and disinformation has been spread that it's like a needle in a haystack. And unless you've actually been paying attention to this, like crazy people like me have been obsessively, then you're a victim. Victimized by the people that are spreading this stuff deliberately, and some not deliberately. Some people are just reposting things because they think it's true, and it gets spread. That's how going viral works. You put something out there, true or not, gets picked up by somebody else, and then they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and it spreads exponentially from that point on. And that is the viral coefficient, I believe it's called, in the digital marketing, social media marketing world. So I believe it's called in the digital marketing, social media marketing world. So, you know, almost home. So I want the best for all of you. I will do what I can so that we can all have a better life, because there's plenty of money out there. It's just being stolen from us as we speak. Big, freaking hideous atrocity of a bill. You kidding me? These people are garbage doing that to us, to our children. They don't care if you live or die, and if you live, they want to put you in a work camp. Arbeit macht frei. Remember that? That's the sign at the death camps, the labor camps. Work will make you free. Able-bodied people on welfare, they can go pick the vegetables. Sure. Because that's what'll happen. That's what we need to happen, because these people are the worst of the worst. I don't know if they believe what's coming out of their mouths or not, but the result is the same. The result is pain and suffering, and people getting off on that pain and suffering. Look at that. Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller. You could see the glimmer in their eye when they hear about it. You could see it. They're getting perverse gratification. The more people suffer, the more gratification that they get. Saying she doesn't know what habeas corpus is. Freaking idiot. I just got back from South Dakota, too. They don't like her up there, neither. Believe me. I knew somebody up there that knew her from way back. Not surprisingly, this person despised her. She is despicable. These people are despicable. What they're doing to us. You think they care about you? Is that what you think? You think they care about you? What else needs to happen? Do you need to be dragged off to a concentration camp with baseball-sized mosquitoes, eating maggots, drinking water from the toilet? Is that what you need? Does that sound like a fun time to you? I've been in some bad situations. I know what it's like. But maybe, maybe that's what it'll take to wake you up. I don't know. I'm not talking to you in particular. But I am on the side of humanity and freedom, and our children being able to afford houses, places to live, the rent going up, and we know the money's there. Trillions of dollars being transferred from the freaking starving people of this world, this country. When people are on welfare, most times they're already working. And if they're not, they want to work. Believe me, people want to work. Homeless people want to work. They don't want to be homeless like that. They're not there because they want to. That's the excuse. That's the story that you tell yourself so that you feel better about putting these people in worse positions. You feel better about yourself for turning your back on them. Don't turn your back on them. You might be in a situation like that sometime, and man, you'll learn. But hopefully you don't have to go through that. Hopefully you have empathy. Empathy. Keyword. We already have concentration camps. Sending them to El Salvador, that was just like the first step. You send them outside of the country so that we can wash our hands of it, and, you know, journalists can't uncover what's been going on until long after the fact. Is that what you want to happen? We want to repeat when they went into Auschwitz, all these other concentration camps, and witnessed the atrocities after? 6 million, 10 million. How many million will it be this time? Because people have died. People are dying as we speak. And the people responsible for it, they are mass murderers. Mass murderers. I'm just speaking the truth. This is domestic terrorism. It's actually global terrorism, really, if you want to get down to it. Because as a country, we are now isolated from our friends. They are deliberately isolating us from our friends in Canada, in Europe. They don't represent us. They do not. They definitely don't represent me. Freaking the likes of Pam Bondi. I feel sorry for her. Actually, I don't know. I think she's mentally challenged, frankly. And if she's not, I mean, she is. She's become mentally challenged if she wasn't born that way, from having this propaganda drilled into her, so she's basically a robot. Yeah. I had bad feelings for her up until recently, and I gotta say, I just feel bad. Hope she snaps out of it. Some people will snap out of it. So, all right, people. Well, it's been nice talking to you. I'm Keith. More to come. To be continued. I might be changing the name of this channel to be continued. I'm not sure yet. It's the Deprogrammer Project. So my hope is to deprogram people, because that's what needs to happen. There's a cult, the biggest cult in history from the looks of it. And coming out of it, it's going to take some pretty advanced deprogramming, and I am not a professional. You can't get a degree in it. You can listen to Dr. Stephen Hassan, who he knows what he's talking about. He's been talking about cults, the cult expert. Love him. I love you, Stephen. Dr. Bandy Lee. Read up about her. They've been sounding the alarm for years. For years. The guys at Shrinking Trump, love you guys. Absolutely. The Bulwark, Midas Touch, Adam Mockler, Luke Beasley, David Packman. These names, Tim Miller, you are amazing. I'm leaving out a lot, but I'm just getting started. So, I love you all. To be continued. And there's quite a bit of work ahead of us, but that house of cards is coming tumbling down. But we need leadership. We need leadership. And we need to identify what we're fighting against. We're up against mass murderers, terrorists. I mean, that's what they are. Look up the definition. These keywords get me in trouble. They're actually, you could look up in the dictionary. I am not saying anything that's not the truth. And I am very clear-eyed about what's going on. I hope you are too. And if not, well, stick around. There are some sane people. Try being one of them. I fully support sanity and rationality, reason, truth. There's such a thing as truth, and you can find it. Critical thinking. You need to activate those critical thinking skills, because if you've been sitting in front of Fox News all day, your critical thinking skills have been fried. That part of your brain has been fried, and hopefully it's not permanent damage, because they are doing brain damage. I know it's reversible, for a time, but I'm hoping there's no such thing as irreversible brain damage induced by Fox News. That would really suck, because that means we're going to have a lot of zombies floating around out there. This is the zombie apocalypse. This is what World War Z was about. All these people floating around like automatons, robots. Anyhow, it's been a pleasure. I will speak to you soon. Come on back, hit a like or something, and I will get back with you as soon as I can, okay? I love you. Be good to each other. Jesse Dollamore, there's one. Yes, and your wife, Jesse. I love you both. I do have to go. Okay, I know I left out a lot of names, and I'm sorry. You're in my heart. I love you. I love you. Shout out to my daughters, to Nikki. I love you guys. You know I do. You know I do. To be continued. ...